some folks, the correct toes product will actually push their fifth toe too far away from their lesser toes. If that's the case, an easy modification to do with your own scissor at home is to place one end of the scissor into this little hole or cavity that's built into the product. And once you put the scissor in there, just basically cut through one end of it. That will open that up. Then what you do is you take your scissor and you cut through the other end of that. Once modified like this piece will be half as thick, which will then allow the fifth toe to come in closer to the fourth toe. If this is effective for you, great, you can use your correct toes in this fashion. If that's still not enough, we have had some folks actually completely remove the whole outer piece that pushes the fifth toe out. That's another good way of modifying your correct toes for proper use. So notice now Aaron's toe can sit next to his fourth toe as opposed to being pushed too far out. If it's pushed too far out, one of the two of these modifications should be comfortable for you to enable your toe to come a little closer to the midline. Another modification that's very helpful for people is if Aaron were coming to using correct toes based on having a bunion deformity, it's very simple for us to put more material into the hole in correct toes to bring Aaron's toe over more. Aaron's got a straight, beautiful, natural great toe, doesn't necessarily need that, but if you are an individual who needs your big toe to be pushed out a little bit further, it's a very simple process. Just take an old sock liner or an insole from a shoe that you own, and what you do is you cut a square-shaped piece of material. This material then will go into this cavity that has been designed into the correct toes to generate some additional toe straightening. So using whatever instrument you happen to have at home, whether it be some form of a hemostat, whether it be a bathroom tweezer, any kind of an instrument, you want to find a way to get this material into this cavity. So notice I've grasped the material. I'm going to pull the material down into the opening, and then I'm going to release it. So what we now see is that we've got a greater amount of spacing available for Aaron's great toe. So that if we felt it desirable to have his toe spread even further away, this would be an advantageous way of doing that. You can continue to add more and more material as time goes by for those individuals who have a severe bunion, who need their bunion progressively pushed over. All of these modifications should be approached very slowly and gradually. Even a small introduction of this amount of material can cause enough of a change in Aaron's great toe position to change the dynamics of his whole lower leg. So any of these modifications should be gone at very slowly and very gradually.
If I have thick or wide toes and they're feeling too tight in the correct toes, what's something that I can do to help create less pressure or to make it fit my foot better?
Yeah, we've come up with a really fantastic way of modifying the correct toe product, taking a small scissor, and in the upper and lower parts of the product we make a small hole, and we just cut a small hole in that material. And if we do this top and bottom, that creates greater flexibility in the product. So if Aaron's third toe was feeling like it was getting squeezed, this is a very good way of enabling the material of the product to be a little bit more flexible so that he doesn't get strangulated. This can be done on both sides. And if it's done directly in the central part of the correct toes product, it won't fall apart any quicker. So that's an indication of what we're trying to do. Notice now the material is a lot more flexible. So if Aaron were struggling with one of these toes feeling as if it needed a little bit more breathing room, as you can see, this makes it a lot more flexible. We're still getting Aaron's foot into the natural foot position, but we're not squeezing his toe. So that's one modification. For some individuals, these little nubs can be a source of irritation, particularly on the bottom of the foot. and those are also very easy to modify. We can take a scissor again and just remove these little, we call them nubs or outcroppings. So basically just cut those flush with the material, and what you'll find then is there will be no source of irritation available, because that material will now be gone. So Aaron won't have any problems with being poked here by the material or being poked on the bottom of the foot by the material. So as you can see, there's many different ways of modifying the product, since every human foot is unique and individual. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to make this product as effective as we can for every single individual. So feel free to make use of these various modification techniques, and feel free to contact Northwest Foot and Ankle or Transcend Bodywork if you have additional questions about modifications or the proper use of your correct toes.